The Dyatlov Pass incident, a chilling mystery in the snowy wilderness. In 1959, 9 young hikers set out into the frozen Ural Mountains of Russia. They were experienced, strong, and full of adventure. But what began as an exciting expedition soon turned into one of the most baffling mysteries in history. When they failed to return, a search party was sent. What rescuers found was horrifying. Their tent was torn open from the inside. It was abandoned, their belongings left behind, as if they fled in sheer terror. Scattered in the snow, their bodies were discovered. Some were found shoeless, wearing barely any clothing, as if they had run into the freezing wilderness in a panic. Others had gruesome injuries. One had a fractured skull, another missing eyes, and one had their chest crushed with a force so strong it baffled investigators. And yet, there were no signs of an avalanche or animal attack. Strange traces of radiation were found on their clothing. Witnesses reported seeing mysterious orange lights in the sky that night. Was it a freak accident? A military experiment gone wrong? Or something more sinister? The Dyatlov Pass incident remains unsolved to this day, leaving us with one haunting question. What could drive 9 people to their doom in the icy grip of the mountains? The Flannan Isles Lighthouse Mystery, a tale of 3 vanished keepers. Picture this, a remote, wind-battered island off the coast of Scotland, where waves crash violently against jagged cliffs. On this island stands a lonely lighthouse, a beacon of safety for sailors. But in December 1900, it became the setting for one of history's most haunting mysteries. When a supply ship arrived at the Flannan Isles, something was off. The lighthouse wasn't shining, and no one came to greet the crew. Climbing ashore, they found the lighthouse eerily quiet. The door was locked, and inside, everything was strangely intact. A half-eaten meal sat on the table, a chair overturned as if someone had left in a hurry. But the 3 lighthouse keepers, Thomas Marshall, James Duckett, and Donald MacArthur, were gone. The logbook told a chilling story. Days before their disappearance, one keeper had written about a terrifying storm, describing fierce winds and prayers for survival. Oddly, no such storm was reported in the area. The final entry simply read, "The storm has passed. All is calm. God is over all." Theories abound. Were they swept away by a rogue wave? Did one man snap and murder the others before taking his own life? Or did something even stranger happen? Something unexplainable? To this day, the fate of the Flannan Isles lighthouse keepers remains a mystery, leaving us with an unsettling image. A lighthouse shining its light over an empty, desolate island, guarding secrets it will never reveal. The Sodder children disappearance, a Christmas mystery that haunts to this day. It was Christmas Eve, 1945 in Fayetteville, West Virginia. The Sodder family, George, Jenny, and their 10 children, were celebrating the holidays. The house was filled with laughter and warmth, but by morning, everything would change. Just after midnight, a fire broke out. George and Jenny rushed to save their children. 5 of them escaped, but the other 5, Maurice, Martha, Louis, Jenny, and Betty, were trapped upstairs. George tried everything. He smashed windows, climbed the house, and even tried to start his truck to rescue them. But mysteriously, the truck wouldn't start. As the fire consumed the home, the Sodders watched in horror, helpless. By dawn, the house was nothing but ash. But here's where it gets strange. No remains were found. No bones, no evidence that the children had perished in the fire. Experts said it was impossible for a fire, even that intense, to destroy bones completely. Clues began to surface. A strange man had been seen watching the children days before. A phone line had been cut during the fire. A woman later claimed she saw the missing children alive, peering out of a car window. And years later, a mysterious photo arrived in the mail, showing a man who looked eerily like one of the Sodder boys, now grown up. On the back was a cryptic note: Louis Sodder, I love Brother Frankie. Ill boys. A 90132 or 35. The Sodders spent their lives searching for their children, convinced they had been kidnapped. The case remains unsolved, leaving behind one haunting question. Did the Sodder children perish in the fire? Or were they taken that night, leaving behind a mystery that burns to this day? The Yuba County Five, a mystery in the mountains. On February 24th, 1978, 5 friends, Bill, Jack, Ted, Gary, and Mike, left a basketball game in Chico, California. They were young men with intellectual disabilities but high spirits, eagerly anticipating a tournament the next day. But they never made it home. Months later, their car was found abandoned deep in the Plumas National Forest, miles off course. It was stuck in snow, yet oddly undamaged. Inside, candy wrappers and maps lay untouched. The men clearly hadn't been stranded for long, so why didn't they turn back? Then came the chilling discoveries. In June, Ted's emaciated body was found in an abandoned cabin 20 miles from the car. He had survived for weeks, wrapped in sheets, with a frozen beard and shoes missing. Nearby, there was food, enough canned goods to keep him alive, but it was barely touched. The others were found scattered in the woods, some missing shoes, others miles apart, as if they had fled in different directions. Gary, the 5th man, was never found. Theories spiraled. Did they become lost and disoriented in the freezing wilderness? Were they running from something or someone? Witnesses claim to have seen the group with an unidentified man on the road that night. And the question remains, why drive so far into the mountains, away from safety, on a cold winter night? To this day, the fate of the Yuba County Five remains a chilling enigma, a story of fear, survival, and the unknown, lost in the dark forests of California. The lead mass case, a death shrouded in mystery. On August 20th, 1966, 2 Brazilian electronics technicians, Miguel José Viano and João Pedro de Souza, set off on an expedition to a remote hill near Niterói, Brazil. They had planned to investigate a strange phenomenon they believed could help them make contact with extraterrestrials. But what was meant to be an ordinary outing took a bizarre and chilling turn. When their bodies were discovered, they were found wearing identical lead masks, strange, heavy pieces of metal that covered their faces, and raincoats despite the clear weather. Their bodies showed no signs of violence, and there were no obvious causes of death. Next to their bodies was a cryptic note, which read, 4:30 p.m. Be at the agreed place. Take capsules. After effect, protect metals. Wait for the signal. The note, combined with the lead masks, suggested some kind of ritual or experiment. But what were they trying to achieve? The police found no signs of struggle or any indication of what could have killed them. The lead masks baffled investigators. Were they used to shield their eyes from some intense light, or was it a form of protection against an unknown force? The note hinted at a planned meeting, but no one ever came forward to explain who they were supposed to meet or what the capsules referred to. Some speculate that the 2 men were part of a secret society involved in mystical or extraterrestrial activities. Others believe they may have taken poison or overdosed on some kind of hallucinogen, but no one truly knows. The lead mass case remains one of the most puzzling mysteries in Brazilian history, a story that mixes the unexplained, the occult, and the chilling possibility of contact with something beyond our world. And that's a wrap on today's mystery. Which one intrigued you the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more chilling stories. Thanks for watching.